Man, Deion gets blown out by Utah. Brian Kelly gets fired. And Cam Newton out here slapping the crap out of a mascot. What a week it has been in sports. Y'all don't want to miss it. Let's get into this weekly recap right now. What up, family? Welcome back to the channel this week in sports. Man, it's been a roller coaster. Coach Prime gets blown out, and honestly, it might be time for him to think about leaving Colorado. Brian Kelly just got fired for being a winning coach, and Cam Newton, he's trending for all the wrong reasons after that moment at Alabama A&M. We're going to unpack why these stories matter, not just to the headlines, but to the future of college and pro sports. Now, before we jump in, guys, go ahead and hit that like button if you're tired of the noise and want balance, real conversation that actually makes sense. And if this is your first time here, man, subscribe, because this kind of sports talk that breaks down what really happens. This is the kind of sports talk that breaks down what really happened behind the scenes and giving you just a unique take on how to look at certain things when we looking at sports. Now, y'all know I got to start with my dog, Coach Prime. Y'all know this channel is pro Deion Sanders, pro Shador Sanders, Shiloh, Well-Off Media, all that good stuff. But, sometimes it's tough when I got to have some conversations, some difficult conversations. Another blowout loss. I think it's safe to say this Colorado chapter may be closing. Deion has done something powerful for the game. He bought attention, he bought energy, he bought swagger back, and he bought social media into the college football ecosystem. But here's the truth. You can't sell prime time without prime results. Colorado gave him a platform, but not the resources, the culture, the location, the roster. It's not built for what Deion wants to build. You see what I'm saying, guys? Colorado is cool. Colorado is a nice university. And when I say don't have the resources, see, the number one thing is, guys, Colorado, without Deion Sanders, nobody was even talking about. So Colorado has now given Deion a platform. Deion is a D1 coach and is proven he can win at the D1 level. Say whatever y'all want to say about his ranked opponents record. But at the end of the day, once he won one game at Colorado, it proved that somebody from the HBCU could win at the Power 4, Power 5 level. Okay? If he's serious about competing on the big stage, though, he needs to be somewhere like University of Florida. Warm weather, elite recruits, and a state that understands football royalty and knows he's football royalty. He can come back home, guys, because let's be honest, Deion Sanders and Coach Prime is a brand, a system. If the system doesn't match the brand, the whole thing burns out. And I think Colorado now is the limiting factor for him getting some of those five-star recruits to come in, because I don't care who you are. Cold always gets old at some point. Cold always gets old at some point. And when y'all hear me say Deion need to come to Florida, Deion has done what he needs to do at Colorado. But I think with health reasons and because just having access to a better recruiting pipeline, he needs to get out of Boulder and come back to Gainesville. Now, obviously, Florida State will probably be open too, but I think he needs to go to University of Florida. And why am I saying that? Tell me what the headlines would be. Does Cormani McClain stay at Florida? Or does he, if Coach Prime comes, does Cormani McClain stay at Florida? Or does Cormani McClain transfer again? Because Cormani McClain, the player now, is different than the Cormani McClain Deion had at Colorado. Why am I saying he needs to come back? Why am I saying he needs to come back to Florida, guys? Colorado worked when you bought your luggage with you, but now your luggage is in the NFL. And we know who we're talking about. Travis Hunter, Shador Sanders, okay? Now he don't have no luggage that he bringing with him. And Deion can come back to Florida, and now he don't need no luggage because Florida is already that pipeline. He wanted to pull one. He wanted to pull from anyway. Now, you guys drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Deion should leave Colorado after this season to come to University of Florida? Or stick it out one more year? Okay? And hey, if you're feeling what I'm saying so far, hit that like button so this video gets pushed out to more folks who actually likes to talk real sports. I'm telling y'all right now, guys, I want Deion to go. I'm gonna tell y'all my selfish reasons. I'm tired of these night games at 10:15 on the East Coast. Let Deion come to the SEC. He's got to go, guys. Colorado has won. Promote Livingston. Go back to being a nice little regional school in the Big 12. But with Deion right now, especially health reason, if he can get that University of Florida job, that changes the game. Because at the end of the day, Florida needs to be relevant. How do you become relevant? Hire the coach. If Deion becomes the Florida coach, because I think Lane Kiffin might be going to LSU and stuff. I don't want Deion to go to LSU. I don't want Deion to go to LSU. University of Florida for Deion, because Deion has no more luggage. Those players, he doesn't have a quarterback. Obviously, Juju is not developing at the level. He doesn't have a quarterback. He doesn't have receivers. He got a bunch of hype guys. And guess what? You leave before they fire you. Let Florida pay the buyout. Come down here, get your health better. Warm weather always helps health, okay? And warm weather always helps recruits. And Deion Sanders at the University of Florida is exactly what we need. And to be honest, I just watched that Mike Vick and Deshaun Jackson, Norfolk State, Delaware State game. Deion needs to keep leading the way so that you get to that first Power 4, Power 5 after you leave the HBCU. Now you got to come to that second one, that third one. And I think Deion is ready for University of Florida. I know some of y'all going to rip me in the comments. It ain't about winning, guys. It's about relevance. But if he's getting blown out, the relevance is gone. The influence is gone. He need to get out of there because Colorado is only going to get worse before it gets better. Now, speaking of that, guys, now y'all know I got to come over here to Brian Kelly. We got to get into this LSU mess because this one shocked me. Brian Kelly just got fired for winning. Look at his record, guys. Now, he didn't win championship, and I know that's what they paid him big money for. But at the end of the day, he was still a winning coach. Okay? You heard that right. A winning coach gets fired. He didn't lose control of the locker room. He didn't have a scandal. He just didn't win big enough. And that's what's wrong with college football right now. Okay? You got NIL money and you got pay. There's so much money right now. If you ain't winning big, the investment doesn't pay off, right? It's not about growth. It's about culture. It's about optics. If you don't win a championship fast enough, boosters panic, fans turn, and ADs fold. And you knew that AD for LSU was gone once the governor came back and said, man, you ain't coming nowhere close to writing the next contract or hiring the next coach. Guys, this is how big college football is. There's so much money flowing through college football. The bigger your salary, you better move fast, okay? The man delivered solid seasons, but LSU wants Alabama and Georgia dominance, and they want it overnight. And Brian Kelly took a salary that said he could do it overnight. And that tells me in sports today, good isn't good enough anymore. You either deliver perfection, right? Or you're disposable. Now, y'all comment below. Was LSU wrong for firing Brian Kelly after winning seasons? Right? And if you agree that college sports have lost their patience, share this video because this needs to be a bigger part of the conversation. I'm going to tell y'all right now, y'all know what these college coaches are doing? They're playing the colleges big time. You know what they're doing? I'm going to negotiate a buyout because I know you're going to fire me. I don't care what my salary is. I want a buyout because I know you're going to get rid of me. Coaches are now, the money isn't getting fired. The money's not in winning a championship. The money is in getting fired. What do they say? Kirby Smart has over $100 million buyout if you fire him. So guys, whoever the agent is for these coaches, they're making some bold moves. Because if I'm Brian Kelly and I got 50 million, right? James Franklin from Penn State, 49 million, right? Guys, the buyout is the plan. So now I'm going to get enough to take care of my family for the rest of our life if you fire me. So guess what, guys? If I'm a coach, I wake up and I say, I'm done with this. I'm done being at the facility 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm done with this traveling. I'm done with the NIL. I'm done with these players who don't have talent, but they're getting paid more than some guys in the NFL. I'm done with it. Guys, college football now for the coaches, you don't negotiate your salary. You negotiate your buyout. Take 3-4 million, but you're going to have to pay me 70 million if you fire me. That's the beauty of what's happening in college football right now. With this NIL money and these college football coach buyouts, guys, college football will never be the same. And I'll repeat what I've said in other videos. The NFL better start letting these kids come from high school because there's no development in college if the coach has more value getting bought out than what he does coaching and growing the team. That's the difference why the NFL needs to go ahead and remove that 3-year rule. Let these boys come out after 1 year. Let these boys come out after 1 year if you're not going to let them come straight out of high school. But this stuff, go back to these Maurice Clarett days when he was trying to get out of there. 1 year at college, because if you ain't good after 1 year at college, it don't make sense. You may as well go ahead and go to the NFL. If it's going to be changes like this at the coaching level, we need to go ahead and start putting it so these boys can go to the NFL. Because now these coaches are going to be left with players that the expectations are lowered. Then they got to actually teach college football and put a better product on the field instead of actually coaching because I know I got a buyout. Look at UNC right now. UNC just got their first win last night with Belichick. Had to keep them because if the boosters don't step up and pay the buyout, the school don't have any money. So now the school, once they can find the boosters who can afford the buyout, yeah, you're good. But otherwise, you're stuck with that coach. So guys, man, look, get down in the comments. Let me know what you think about Brian Kelly's situation in the buyout. If I'm Brian Kelly, as he went to that private jet, after they fired him, he went to his private jet to fly off to wherever he's flying and going to decide if he's going to coach at all, which will probably get a TV Cush job at a Cush TV job. Come on, guys. The goal is now, I don't care what my salary is. Give me the buyout and fire me after 2 or 3 years. Because if Brian Kelly's getting fired for having a winning record, I know Deion don't have much longer at Colorado. Because if this is going to be his second losing season out of 3 seasons so far, that's a problem. That's why you move before they move you. Now, y'all know my last one. I got to get into it. I dog Cam Newton. I think that's the wildest headline of the week. Y'all saw First Take was at the Alabama A&M Alabama State game and ended up going viral after slapping the school's mascot during a live ESPN moment. Now, the internet went crazy. Half the people saying it was playful, half saying it was disrespectful. Here's my take. Cam is not the problem. The setting is. Now, I'm going to get in trouble for this one. Y'all not going to like me after I say this. HBCUs are incredible, but they're not built for ESPN's brand of storytelling. They're personal, they're cultural, they're deep. So when you mix that authentic energy with national TV and viral moments, it gets messy fast. Cam's personality is big, and that's exactly why we need to get him away from this HBCU 106 and sports stuff. Get him away from all this cultural stuff. His personality is big. That's why we need to be saying Cam Newton needs to be on College Game Day. Maybe even replacing someone like Kirk Herbstreit, who don't want to be there now since Corso was gone. What Kirk Herbstreit fed off of was sitting next to Lee Corso or getting rid of Desmond Howard. Cam brings culture and charisma that show is missing. And can you imagine Cam Newton next to Pat McAfee on College Game Day? Cam is not an HBCU grad. And I'm tired of the black people who get on ESPN and then got to go prove that they still hood, that they still down for the culture. Cam went to Florida, then went to JUCO, then went to Auburn. Cam didn't do the HBCU experience. Ryan Clark didn't do the HBCU experience. Stephen A. did. But trying to capture something at HBCU on TV, that's not what an HBCU is. HBCU, if you want that experience, you got to be there. It is not translating to TV. And I get what Cam is doing. And I don't know what's driving him to try to do this, but Cam ain't meant for HBCU level. Cam is meant for either Monday Night Football analyst, Thursday Night Football analyst, Sunday NFL football analyst, or College Game Day where he won a Heisman. Okay, Desmond Howard won one. Put Cam Newton up there. Pat McAfee and Cam Newton would reinvigorate College Game Day. Okay, now he's got to stop putting himself in situations like this that make him look like a headline instead of a leader. Because every time people remember that moment, they don't remember the man. We got to remember Super Bowl, went to the Super Bowl, NFL MVP, Heisman Trophy at Auburn. Why are we putting this guy to HBCU? And that's not to demean HBCUs, guys. Why are we putting this guy to HBCU? Cam needs to be on College Game Day or one of the NFL shows, NFL Live or the pregame for Monday Night Football or the pregame for Sunday NFL. I'm telling y'all right now, nobody else has this tape. But if you keep trying to put Cam in these traditional environments, Cam is not meant for that. Cam is not meant for that. Look at how that guy thrives on 4th and 1, Funky Friday, all that kind of stuff. Cam is a big name that needs a big platform. First Take is too small for him. First Take is too small for him. And just because Cam has this persona don't mean Cam don't have the knowledge. And when y'all watch this guy and watch his takes, everything he's saying is right. Go back to that 4th and 1 where he was telling you what you're gonna hear in your helmet. He did a better job. He did a better job than the guy who did the original video order. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. Cam is that guy that needs to be on a bigger platform. And I know I'm gonna get hit in the comments about this. But Cam Newton is the next great thing. He's done it on all levels, guys, and he's figuring out this media thing. And when he talks, guys, he's about to be like E.F. Hutton. People listen. Now that Alabama A&M mascot, somebody told him to do it. Y'all don't play with Cam's style, man. Don't touch that man's hat. Don't touch that man's crown. Don't touch that man's style. Because guess what? We saw what happened when them kids and them people tried to run up on him at that 7-on-7 game. He took on all of them. Look, guys, I'm telling you, somebody told people to do this. And this is why Cam does not need to be in an HBCU environment. He don't know how to back off. And he ain't going to let nobody try to punk him. And that's why he needs to be College Game Day. We trying to put Cam in too small of a box, bro. Go study what this guy's been doing, man. And you may not like his personality, and you may not like some of the things he say, but look at how his channel is growing. Look at what he's saying, man. They need to elevate this guy instead of making him prove himself by putting him in the HBCU and 106 in sports and all that kind of stuff. Cam bigger than that, guys. And it ain't going to be long before stuff like this keeps happening and he going to end up getting in trouble because he still can. The dude's still big. The dude's still from the hood. Okay? We need to put him in an environment where he's not going to be challenged to make sure he's still down, that he ain't sold out, that he's still black. Right? Get him out of that. Let's get him to College Game Day or get him on Monday Night Football. Get him somewhere on a bigger platform because that guy is the next biggest thing. And right now, ESPN and 106 in sports trying to put him in a snow globe that he's way too big for. Okay? So when you zoom out, guys, and look at these 3 stories, Deion, Coach Prime, Brian Kelly, and Cam Newton, there's a theme here. We're in a generation where image is worth more than identity. Coaches, players, even programs are being judged by the headlines instead of the heart. Deion's chasing a legacy. Brian Kelly's paying the price for expectation. And Cam's trying to balance personality with purpose. That's the real conversation here. And if you've been watching to this point, man, I appreciate you. Go ahead and like this video, drop a comment, and subscribe to keep this kind of honest, grounded sports conversation alive on YouTube, man. Before we get out of here, y'all make sure y'all go to Amazon Kindle, Ashes Between Us, man. It's the Real Cigar Jeff. I break down what I see happening in cigar lounges every time I go. You don't want to miss my take on that. The link is in the description, guys. Thanks for watching. And remember, sports don't just reflect culture, they reveal it. I'm the Real Cigar Jeff, and I'll see you next week for another breakdown that gets to the truth behind the trends, man. And until next time, guys, I'm going to holler.